It's the Morning Star Drive 117.8. You soaring up with sky, now's the time, don't delay. I'm sitting in my ride and it's time to fly. So let's realign, just listen and fill your mind.
Hey guys, how is it going? And welcome to the Morning Star Drive on 117.8. It is Thursday, August 8th, and so happy for you joining us. We are ready to start another day together with the Lord. So subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on SoundCloud, and make sure to support us on Patreon. So today we have an exciting podcast for you. We have Sermons in the Sky, QNA Thursday, and of course commentaries, updates, and news on what is happening around the world in this history today. All right, everyone, how are you doing? And yes, it is Thursday, and I am so happy we've made it thus far. Day 4 for me, almost the end of my first week here. I'm really excited because on the weekend we have the SS retreat, and that's going to be pretty awesome too, so I'm looking forward to that also. Don't forget, not just today, guys. It's every single week we do have a Q&A Thursday, so get those questions ready. Send them to me whenever you can. And if you haven't yet, leave a like and comment on today's video. All right, guys, let's leave a like or comment on today's video, especially if you guys have received any grace or love or you felt entertained by today's content, right? So, I'm super happy for everyone that you guys join us every weekday on the Morning Star Drive. So let's get up and support each other each and every day. This week's Sunday message title is God, the Holy Spirit, and the Lord all appear when you testify clearly. All right, so it is a wonderful, wonderful Thursday, and if you guys can hear in the background, I'm not sure if you can, but my laundry machine is going. You know, it's all right. Yeah, I'm just kind of getting myself into a little bit more of a comfortable position, but yeah, I'm doing my laundry, and I am kind of chilling at my house right now. Well, the temporary house for now, but I am thankful I have made it almost to the end of my first week as IMD director. Almost done the first week. Hoping that all of us, including myself, will finish the week strong and well. I just went to my first Wednesday service here at the Wilmington Church. It's kind of cool though. Like, I am now like a member of the Wilmington Church. Isn't that cool? It's crazy for me because 2010 when I went to Korea, the church that was like, oh, everyone wants to be part of that church was obviously the Lord's Church at that time. And then I became a member of the Lord's Church, right? So I was really excited about that. Oh my gosh, I'm in the Lord's Church. And then, of course, all these crazy things happen. And now I'm a member of the Wilmington Church. Isn't that, like, it's so mind-boggling to me that I'm a member of this church. It really is. And I love the head leader here. Her name is Pastor Habit. I love her. She's so good. And even today, like when she's preaching, I'm like, wow. And, I can't understand every single thing, but I do have the transcript with me and stuff like that too. But I'm just like, wow. And after she gives an announcement and her face is so bright. You know what I mean? Like I've just been through like a very exhausting week and such, but she is, I don't know what it is. She's super bright. She was telling everyone that she had COVID for a week and stuff. And, COVID is kind of running around Korea right now too. But yeah, I really am thankful. And I'm going to tell you something that I thought was such a cool perk. One of the cool perks I have of being a director is I get to drive up Wolmyongdong and park at the top. Tell me that's crazy. Isn't that crazy? Like, Pastor Baker, when I was driving up, he's like, hey, what are you doing driving up here? I'm like, it's the perks of being a director. And then I kind of drive by, and I'm like, wow, like this is so interesting, right? But yeah, it's a very interesting time. And I am slowly beginning to enjoy things more and more. It's still, guys, if you think about it, it's day 4 for me and it's just starting. So it's not like I'm used to everything. It's not like I'm like all of a sudden so in tuned with everything that's going on around. Like I am not like that at all, right? I am just still learning the ropes. Today also had a huge brain fart because just TMI. too much information. Well, not like a real TMI, like the TMI that what it's used for, but TMI meaning there's literally so much information going into my brain today. I was like, what? I'm like, and it wasn't even like details. It was just general snapshots of the countries that I'll be taking care of and stuff. And I'm like, I didn't know there are this many Western countries. I was like, what? It's like Europe and North America, Africa. Yes, Africa. I am also director of Africa, which is kind of cool. And Australia, New Zealand, and I think those are the main countries I believe. Right? There's still no Asian director yet, so I do believe if there are countries that need help, they can all call me and stuff like that too. I believe either way. Right? So it's been a very, very interesting first week, and I've already had 2 complete brain losses. Okay, so that's kind of like what's going on. That's kind of me for the last 3 days. Oh, and today I did have the Rebel Pastor podcast, episode number 22. Remember, this is only one a week, so 22 weeks we've been doing it, and that's been quite incredible. Big kudos out to the editors and the people who are working on it over there in Malaysia, even though I'm here in Korea. And even though I was like, it's busy, and and I need some time to adjust my body to this new schedule and such. Even though that was happening, I was it was such a good break for me to go back to something I already knew. Being in the live chat room and stuff like that, I had so much fun. Live chat room going on, talking to each other. And I thought to myself is like, because I'm in this kind of more of a tired state right now. It's my first week at work, just learning the ropes. And I was thinking to myself, like, man, I'm not sure if I could do this every week with this mission that I have right now. And I think I have to be pretty fair with myself is like, yeah, I bet you there's going to be some days or some weeks that I can't go into the live chat room. Like, I'll still do the live chat room and get some other people in there to help out. But I don't think that I could do it every single week, right? I have... When this mission, there's going to be weeks where it's busy. There's going to be weeks that I go on tour. I'll go to different countries. I wouldn't mind going to Africa, though. But either way, I'll be going to all these different places. And, I have to think about, even right now, I have to think about setting up either a studio in my place that I live in or using Palm Station. Like, that would be kind of cool too, because that's open for me to use, and the equipment over there, which is probably way more professional than any of the equipment that I have. So I'm thinking a lot about how to work on this. And while I was in Malaysia, I do have some extra videos, so I have like another 3 weeks to really think about this, and to I have 3 weeks to kind of figure out how I'm going to do this. Just trying to figure this out too. So that is something that I am looking at also. How about you guys? I've been talking about me and this new mission, which is quite exciting, and I think a lot of you guys out there have been telling me you guys are quite excited by it too. Anything happening for you guys? You guys can write in the chat room. I know some people are coming to. Some people are visiting Wonmugdong for the retreats and such. I think who's coming? I think there's a church from Malaysia coming. There's also, I forget where the other countries, I think Australia's coming. I forget. But there's a bunch of countries. I'm telling you guys, total brain farts, okay? So much information. I'm just like, oh, like I can't even put it, like, keep it in my brain. And I'll tell you this, guys, as the days were going on, I'm sleeping better and stuff like that too. I'm not as anxious, but for some reason, last night I was sleepless. I think it was just kind of the brain overload. I was just sleepless. It wasn't even about the mission. I just started thinking about this and that. I just couldn't sleep. I'm not sure what that means, but I had like thoughts racing in my head, and I was like, oh, Sky, you stupid poo-poo head. Why are you thinking about this? And even last night, the last time I checked the clock, it was like 1:48 a.m. And then after that, I think I fell asleep. But it's been pretty intense and stuff too. But like I said, as the days go by, I'm getting more and more adjusted. And like so many of my worries, remember, only 3 days of my mission has passed, and what's been settled? Phone is settled. I have a car now. I have housing. It's all like, think about that. In 3 days, all of it was settled. But I'm like so overwhelmed on that first day. Like, oh my gosh, so many things to do. Guys, in 3 days, all three things were settled. Like, that's kind of how like the pali pali Korean fast and quick thing is going, right? Like, 3 days, I would say this. So many things have happened in the 3 days. Like, even from my first day on the job, like things I need to take care of, people I need to take care of. It's like happening quick. Letters coming and going, replies from Sunstein, problems, solutions. Only 3 days. So much stuff going on. And I know there's a huge learning curve because I'm kind of sitting here just listening because I have no idea like this and that. But, even today or yesterday, well, it is still today, but it's getting close to midnight over here on Wednesday after service. But I had my first IMD meeting, and it's just all it is just me getting up to speed. That's it. And my brain was full. Just getting up to speed. All the countries, I'm like, what? This, what? That? How? I'm like, in my head, I'm like, how many Western countries are there? It was just like this country, who's the leader, and I'm just getting a general snapshot of countries, just, because that's my mission. I'm just like, oh, wow, oh. And my brain, it stopped. It was so much. They looked at me like, Sky, you okay? I'm like, it's so much information. They had to cut it in half. Right? Because I'm like, okay, so, it's just too much information. It's just way too much. Brain was full. I couldn't finish all the countries. Got split into 2 parts. It's just too much information. It's like TMI. But TMI not meaning like that type of TMI, but it was literally so much information. And like I said, it's a general snapshot. Oh, there's this country, there's a person leading over here, and this is like this person preaches. I'm like, okay, and they're like, and it never stopped. I was like, how many Western countries are there? I was shocked. I was just shocked, and I couldn't finish them. And as my brain was full, the thing that stuck to my mind is, and I'm only doing Western countries, and Sunseem's taking care of the world, which includes Korea, Japan, and Taiwan, which are like huge countries. I was like, this is incredible. Incredible that Sunseem's doing the world. Relentless. I was like, I would be so frustrated. I would be like, oh, why don't you just do this? Oh, why are you asking me that? Yeah. Oh. I just found it so inspiring, like inspiringly daunting. I'm like, how the heck does Sunseem take care of every single country and person? Now, of course, not always directly. Well, sometimes through letters, sometimes through other people, sometimes, they're like through the word. Like it's just, I'm speechless. I was stuck with my brain like short-circuiting. My brain was just short-circuiting the entire time. And I was like, Sunseem is taking care of all of them. And you know what's even crazier? Like seeing Sunseem's like going into action. For instance, it's retreat time. For a lot of people aren't, in the Western countries especially, they're not coming to Korea for the retreats. It's just too far away and stuff, right? The retreat messages, messages for different departments, how detailed he wants things done for the Wonmyeongdong tours, the things he wants people to focus on during the retreat. I was in awe. I was seriously in awe. Because I was already struggling with I couldn't even get all the information into it was just too much. I was in awe to see Sunseem in action. Of course, it's not literally, but it's through instructions and letters and all. eh, I don't even know how to explain it. I really don't. Yeah, I really don't. I don't know how to explain it. It's so incredibly incredible. I can't even yeah, it's totally a different world. It really is. It's a different world. It really is. It's such a different world. Man. I would, if I were to give you just what is this like central hub of like all these like headquarters inside like when in the building that I work in? Oh, someone said it. Oh yeah, yeah. It's like the White House. That's what it's like. The central place where everything is coming and going through. It's like a brain. It's the brain. And for me, just sitting there, it is awesome to witness, but it's so crazy that I'm seeing everything in real time. Like things that I would never ever be able to see before. Because if you guys think about it, when we're in our own countries, we only usually deal with what? We only deal with our own churches, right? We only deal with our own church. Sorry, guys, I'm just taking off my I'm taking off my earphones right now. But we only deal with our own churches. We only deal with our own countries, and it's a very different feeling because you're in a place where you're only looking at what's happening inside of your own churches. And then, of course, you go one step up, you have HQ. They're dealing with all the churches. And then, where I am, it's like every country. I'm just like, whoa. So much work to be split up. I have like newfound respect. I really do. So much respect. And like these people that are helping me out, they've been working here for like 4 to 7 years. I'm like, what? Like, how is that? They get the work done. They really get the work done. I was sitting in the meeting. I'm kind of like listening to everything. And like I said, it's so much information. My brain has short circuited. It really has. I'm just like, oh, what? There? Oh, what? And they can, it's funny because I just have my brain working overtime, and I don't know what my facial expression looks like. But you guys know me. My facial expression is pretty animated, right? I'm pretty animated in my facial expression. And they're looking at me. They're like, Sky, are you okay? And I'm like, oh, it's just too much information. I can't hold it in. I just can't. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. It's only like my third day. Like it's been 3 days. It's only been 3 days. I'm just like, I'm so sorry. It's been 3 days, and I don't know. I'm stuck. My brain is fried. I don't know what to say or do, kind of thing, right? So when I was like that, I was just like, I'll just kind of, and I want to be very honest with them too. I'm just like, yeah, if you keep talking, I'm so sorry, but nothing will come in, like nothing, zero will come into my brain. So, yeah, that's. So, I was very very honest with them, but I was just basically saying like, yeah, that's yeah. I'm so sorry, but they understood, and they're very understanding because it's almost like I'm taking a crash course right now, and I'm just learning as I go. But yeah, I am thankful. I am grateful for having good supporting people and stuff. And I would say this, because I've been a leader before too, and I think those of you who have been leaders before, it's so interesting when you look at things from the leader's perspective compared to like a follower's, like or like a regular member's perspective, right? And I would say something that is so true is leaders are so much under the spotlight. You guys, we all know this, right? We're talking so much under the spotlight to the point it's like, what? Like, what is going on? Like, and because we're under the spotlight, everyone looks at us. And everyone's not looking at all the regular members, but everyone looks at the leaders. Leaders get the most scrutiny. You can't help it. And I, the one thing that I know that's going to happen, and I'm going to pre-apologize right now, but I know this is going to happen. This is going to be normal. Is in a, if you're a head leader and you have a church of 100 people, you have like 100 eyes looking at you, and you're probably going to have a ton of people that are not going to like your style, your method, or the way you do things. And you're probably going to have like 20 complaints against you. I understand. And because I was a head leader too, I was like, yeah, that's just part of the deal. But I was sitting here like, dude, there's this many countries. And I was like, what? This is crazy. And one of the thoughts that came to my head is, I have to do my best, not just being spiritual, not just being someone who understands the word, but I got to be that person who really gives off the fragrance of the Lord, where, like, I would say there are some leaders out there that are so, like, for me, they're so cuddly. I'm not sure if that's the right word, cuddly. They're so kind and like soft and like a plush doll that even if they made a mistake, I'd be fine. But then I know that there'll be people who'd be against them. And I'd be like, wow, everything, like, even for me, I am so, I don't know what the right word is, because, the Women Church head leader, Pastor Habit, I'm not going to say the word I'm in love with her. Obviously not like that type of love, but I have that really big affection towards her. Like, wow, she's amazing. She's awesome. She's someone like, so motherly. And of course, like, I don't know if you guys have met her before. She's taller than me. She's like 6 feet. 6'1", I think, something like that. She's tall, right? So she towers. But she has that super loving, I don't know what you'd say. She's just at that, I don't know what it is. That in my eyes, right now, at this moment, at this emotional state that I'm in, she could do no wrong. I don't know if does that make sense to you? Don't you guys don't have that kind of feeling towards some people? Like, I don't even know her. I've met her like once or twice, and now she's my head leader, and I'm so happy. I really am, right? And when I see her on the stage, and when she's speaking, I look at her attentively, and I really want to give off that vibe that, oh, I'm gonna, I'm here to support you, kind of thing. You know what I mean? I don't know. You guys ever get that? Does this sound really creepy and weird? Because if it does sound creepy and weird, just let me know. I'm trying not to be creepy and weird. I'm just trying to, you know what? I know. So guys, as you're laughing at me right now, it's my first week. I'm going through some emotional ups and downs and stuff like that, and I'm just getting used to my new life here that was just changed within a week. Guys, if you think about it, I haven't even been in Korea for a week. I arrived here on Sunday, which means this Saturday, Saturday or the next Sunday is going to be my first week is done here. I haven't even been here for a week. I've only been Wonmyeongdong since basically since Sunday night, right? So I haven't been here very long. So for me, I was just like, yeah, I get it. Like it's still a whirlwind of emotions and me just adjusting to how I need, that I'm going to be living here at this time. So I do know that it's something I do have to really open my eyes towards. And then I know that things are going to slowly settle down. And I'm going to get used to it, and I'm going to adjust to my mission and stuff like that too, and it's going to be much better too, right? So yes, I do understand, and I do know. So if I am gushing too much over my head leader, please forgive me. And maybe if I said something too strong, did I say anything too strong? I don't know. Let me know. Let me know if I sound really weird. I hope I don't. Do I? But if I do, forgive me. Either way. All right. So Before we get into this first break of the music break of the day, let's get, there is a new poll that I'm going to put out. This poll is a very interesting one because, evangelism is something that we do think about. But I was wondering how many people you've evangelized. And that means you were the main lecturer, right? You were the main person lecturing. You were the one that evangelized, like you literally met them and brought them. Or you were the main manager, right? Not someone who's helping someone else to manage, but the main one, right? So, you guys will know better than I do. And you'll be confident. Basically, if God came to you and you were to give him your resume and God knows the truth, would you be able to put that life under you kind of thing, right? So I would say that is how many people have you evangelized? And I interestingly put up these numbers like 0, 1, 2, then 3 to 5. Because I think the hardest is actually the first person to evangelize is the hardest. So I know a lot of people will probably have 0. And a lot of people will probably maybe have 1. Maybe. Right? And you're probably like, and I would tell you this, guys, if you have to think, was I the main lecturer? Was I the main manager? It probably means you weren't. Because if you're the main, you know confidently, yeah, I did that. Yep, I did this. Like that's completely different. I think it would be very interesting to see what like the numbers are right now. And just to see how evangelism is at this moment. And, think about this. There's not a lot of huge evangelism going on, so it's hard to say that people have done over. I would say it'd be very difficult to find people who've done more than 5. I think most people are going to be in the 0 to 2 range. I think. That's my feeling, right? Of course, in my life, I've done a ton, especially because I traveled so much, but why did I say that? I sound like I'm boasting. Forgive me, guys. Wow, I'm really getting to this like director mode and trying to be more. Sorry, guys. I'm starting to throw up in my own mouth. Sky, what's becoming of you? Why are you becoming like this? Yeah. Either way. So that's just kind of some of the things that I've been thinking about and going on too. I hope you guys have really, really enjoyed your week thus far. It is Thursday. Hope you guys will enjoy your week even more. But before we get into Q&A Thursday, let's get into the first music break of the day. Okay, so let's get into today's second segment, which is QNA Thursday, and we have two questions today. And the first one is a very interesting one. I find it very interesting. He says, "Good morning, Pastor Sky. I hope you're having a lovely start to the week." And yes, I did have a lovely start. I have a question for QNA Thursday. If someone left Providence, came back to Providence with a long-term worldly partner, so long-term means like maybe living together, worldly, which means not religious. All right, so someone who left Providence, then fell in love, and they have a worldly partner they're probably living with. Question is, three things. Number one, would they still be able to rapture? Two, would they be accepted back into Providence? And number three, would they become a JS? Okay, so it's a very interesting question, and I think a lot of people might wonder about this. And this seems like a very general question too, because some people do ask about this. What happens if people leave and they come back and they have like a boyfriend or girlfriend, or they're married or something along this line? What happens to them, right? And I would start off with this. The first thing that we have to understand in our mind is when we leave, like when we really leave. One of the things that people do get caught up into is when they leave, they think to themselves of only in terms of leaving Providence and coming back to Providence, which kind of feels more like I left this organization or I left this church. Can I come back to this church, right? And when you look at it in that way, I think it's very easy to lose the most important part of what Providence is. For someone to leave this history, first and foremost, we have to realize what you've actually done, right? What has actually happened? It's not about leaving an organization. It's not about leaving a church. We learn in this history that the purpose of creation that we have fulfilled is to become the counterpart of love, right? To the Holy Trinity. Like that's the big thing, which means we got married spiritually, okay? So for us to leave, what does that mean? Okay? For us to leave, it means that you've basically left your lover. So you have to think about it this way. If you had a husband or wife and then they left you and found another lover, how would you feel? And the answer is we would be crushed. We would be heartbroken. We would be depressed. We'd be devastated, wouldn't you? I'd say that would be fair to say that all those feelings you'd probably feel if someone did that to you. So the reason I'm saying this is I think it's too easy, and it makes it too easy just to say, oh, if I leave Providence and I come back. I think that makes it sound like an easier thing, like I just left a church and I just want to come back. Why aren't you letting me back in? And you might think it's unfair kind of thing, right? Like, oh, because, the questions about the rapture, like, oh, why can't I get raptured? I came back, right? No, I would say that you have to look at it from that perspective first, of a lover leaving you and finding another lover, right? And that would be the first thing you'd have to think about, because if we don't think about it this way, then we're not going to think about repentance in the proper way either. We're not going to repent properly. We're not going to be crying. We're not going to think to ourselves, what have I done to God? Like when you repent, and you know exactly how much you've hurt God, then I think you can repent much more cleanly, much more clearly. Do you know what I mean? So I would say that first you'd have to kind of look at the leaving and coming back in that way. If your lover left you, found another lover, and then after comes back with that lover and still wants to be with you, what would you do? Right? So it would kind of be very, very awkward. It would be awkward. You couldn't help it, right? So I would look at it that way also, like as the first way to think about it, which would also help us to understand, for instance, the first question is, could you still be raptured, or would you go somewhere else? And I would say that if someone left and came back with a lover, a worldly lover, I think the rapture is probably one of the last things you should think about. I think the first thing you should think about is actually, can I even be saved? I wouldn't even think about rapture at all, because rapture is like the highest of the highest. It's the pinnacle, and you almost have to come back thinking to yourself that you've lost it, right? Like you'd have to come in with that humility. Like you couldn't come in thinking that you deserve it or you have a chance. I don't think that's a... I think the first thing that you would have to think about is not rapture, but salvation. Can I just be saved? I think that would be the better first question you should ask is, can I be saved? And if you think about it from that point of view, then even if you get salvation, you will be so thankful, so grateful. Now, do I think there's a possibility of someone being raptured in that situation? I would say that it would be very, 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 I would say, because I'm not God, I would say almost impossible to be in that situation with a worldly lover. I would say that would be very difficult. Because that means, it's not, that wouldn't be an easy situation. I think it'd be very difficult, right? And is it impossible? One thing I have realized in this history is, and the way God works, is there are general rules and then there's special situations and circumstances, right? For instance, the example I always give is abortion. Sunsteam generally says, no abortion. That's general. Generally speaking, Sunsteam is completely against abortion, generally. However, there are special situations and circumstances, right? For instance, for abortion, Sunsteam does talk about if the life of the mother is in danger from the birth, then it's possible for abortion to be acceptable. If the baby came from, say, rape or incest or something along that line, that is something also where it can, it's a possibility, a special situation, circumstance. I also believe if the baby has like really, what do you call it? Disease, some type of handicap. Some type of handicap that's going to make life super hard for that kid to live. Like, I think there's always these are certain. It's not saying if you have any of these situations, you can go abortion. No, I'm not saying that either. It has to be very special, and you need to get authority for that, right? You need to get permission for that type of thing, but it's very rare. It's special circumstance, special cases, right? So just because I know this, that there is the general, which is no, right? Generally speaking, can you be raptured? Generally, I would say no in that situation. However, if someone is sets that great of a condition, if someone is, does something that's even more powerful, like very special case, I would say that, there's always special case circumstances, which is very rare, right? But it's not something where we can look at and just say that, it's no problem, you can do that again. I think it would be that difficult specifically in that situation. Secondly, will you be accepted back into providence? And the answer is, it just depends if you truly repented and you set the condition. I think that's all it is, right? If you can do that, if you can truly repent, if you can truly set the condition, I think you would come back. You would be accepted back to providence. Like, I think that would be something that everyone would agree on, right? Everyone would agree on that. Last but not least, would you become a JS? I would say in most cases, yes. I think that might be the easiest of the three questions. Yeah, I think most likely you'd be a JS. Yeah, you can't have like a Like if you marry that worldly partner, obviously you're a JS. And even if you evangelize that partner, you'd still be a JS too, right? So yeah, I would say that looks like generally speaking, that would be the case. I haven't seen any other cases besides that. And that's something that, because I am not the Lord. So I couldn't tell you which special situation circumstance it would work in. However, I would say that I can never close the door because I am not the Lord. But what I do know is it's something that there's always a special situation circumstance, which is very, very rare. So that's how I would answer it. But generally speaking, I would say, would you become JS? Generally, yes, which is like vast majority of situations. Would you be accepted back to Providence? Yes, if you set the condition and if you not just set the condition, but if you truly repent, set the condition. And last but not least, would you rapture? And I would say generally no. Generally, right? Is it possible still? I do think there is some possibility. I would say it'd be very rare. You'd have to set some great conditions and do. But in that situation with a long-term worldly partner, I think that would be very, very difficult. Very difficult because, that's a hard thing. But generally, that's how I would answer it. Are there special situation circumstances? Absolutely, but it's super rare. It's not that it's not easy to do kind of thing. All right. So that's how I would kind of answer that. It's a tricky question. It really is. But like I said, number one is you need to know what it means to leave Providence. And secondly, you need to, before even rapture, I think the first thing is, can I even be saved? Can I even be accepted back into it? And then being JS or not rapturing, I think that's not really a big matter. From that situation, knowing what you've done to God, I think you should be just happy that you're back and you have salvation. That's what I would say, right? That's the humility we need to have coming back in. Just hey, it's fine. I'm okay. I'm JS, okay. All right, as long as I get that salvation, right? And, from there, we just work on it step by step. But, I wouldn't be thinking too much about, that level of, can't I be blessed family? Or can't I get the rapture? I think that's reaching for something that's not even within your grasp at that moment. It'd be something where you should first be grasping for, can I get back in? Can I be saved? And just being thankful, even if you're a JS, I would just be thankful in that situation because if you realize deeply of what it really meant to leave and then come back with a worldly partner, I think that would be something you would have to realize that much more deeply. So that's my answer. So if you have any questions about this, I know I'm giving you the general answer because generally that's going to be the case, right? Second question is, what do you think is the best spiritual skill to have in Providence? And I would say that there is no right answer for this. There is no right answer. All I can tell you is if you become an expert in any spiritual skill, whether it's prayer, whether it's management, whether it's evangelism, whether it's lecturing, whatever it is, if you become an absolute monster in one of those areas, that skill is going to be so needed everywhere. Everywhere. Right? Let me give you an example. The skill that I have built up for myself in the 26 years I've been in Providence has been lecturing. That's the number one thing for me is lecturing, right? And I'll tell you, for being that, to be to be a good lecturer or an expert lecturer or something along that line, that has been the reason why I was able to tour the world. That's been the reason why I can go to any church and they would ask me to come to teach because of a expertise or skill that you have, right? And I'm telling you guys, if someone is a crazy, amazing, expert evangelist, you will be invited everywhere, pretty much. You will be. People are going to ask how you do it. People are going to ask, how can we do it better? How can we evangelize better? This or that. That is something that's any expertise. If you have any super expertise in any of those spiritual areas, you will be needed in every single church and wherever you go. That's a guarantee. The issue is most people don't become expert in a specific providence skill. That would be I would say that would be the bigger thing that doesn't happen. People need to become an expert in something, and that's when you are invaluable and you will be used every single place you go, right? That's going to be it. If you're the expert manager, expert evangelist, expert lecturer, expert whatever it is, expert prayer person, whatever it is, right? You will be used everywhere, 100%, if you become expert. The issue is most people are just kind of mediocre at a bunch of different things, right? That's kind of more the issue of why people ask or people feel, oh, why am I not being used? Why is it not like this? And in most cases, it's because you're not really developed in any skill, right? You might be someone who's just really, really good at following or good at doing things just, in a mediocre way, which means it's just, it's good to have someone like that in the church to support. But if you're going to be someone who's used everywhere, anywhere, anytime, any place, I would say become an expert in one of those things. And it's going to really be determined by your character, your talents, your your personality traits and stuff like that, because that is something that is different for every person. And some people fit managing, some people fit teaching, some people fit preaching, some people fit evangelism. Those are all things that people are good at according to their talents that they've grown up with, right? So that is something that I would bring up for sure. I would say if there's a skill that you should do, I would say anything in that evangelism range, management, lecturing, evangelism, and you become a crazy expert in it, you'll be used everywhere. So for me, what fit me the most was lecturing, and I was very focused on it, and lecturing was my big thing. And I would say that that would be the skill that I used so that I can, run in Providence all my life for the last 26 years, whatever it is, right? So I would say that if you guys wanted to have a good spiritual skill, I would say that pick one that fits you well, but become an absolute monster in that skill. Become a monster in that one, and you will be used everywhere you go, kind of thing. All right? So yeah, those are kind of my thoughts on this. I hope those questions kind of helped you guys out. You guys can answer it, not answer. You guys can comment on it or anything else too. So if any other questions or anything else, please let me know. And yeah, that means that's the end of today's Q&A Thursday. Let's move into, what am I moving into? Oh, I am moving into the second or the last music break of the day.
When I look at you, it's like I got the whole room tip of my finger, and I'm pointing it right back to you. When I look at you, it's like I got the whole universe, the whole universe. Never thought that living could be easy, so you taught me right from wrong. Now I'm free to be full of love, full of hope. I'm empty of all things. Now I'm living to make everyone come follow me. This is a life worth living. Someone else, what would he give me though? It's like I'm floating on clouds, my feet don't touch the ground. Life with you is like heaven, look at what I found. You said believe in me, don't change and then you'll see a life that lasts for all eternity. And I will never live to have any regrets. I know you're the best, I'll step to the west, I'll follow behind you step by step. Just like the stars above, we shining, shining. Look at the world in my hands, and the universe is mine. It's yours, can't escape from the love, it's yours. It's yours, can't escape from the love, it's yours. Just like the stars above, we shining, shining. Look at the world in my hands, and the universe is mine. It's yours, can't escape from the love, it's yours. It's yours, can't escape from the love, it's yours. When I look at my finger and I'm pointing it right back to you. When I look at you, it's like I got the whole universe, the whole universe. You said believe in me, don't change, and then you'll see a life that lasts for all eternity. That will never live to have any regrets. I know you're the best, I'll step to the west, I'll follow behind you step by step. Just like the stars above, we shining, shining. Look at the world, in my hands the universe is my net. It's yours, can't escape from my love, it's yours. It's yours, can't escape from my love, it's yours. Just like the stars above, we shining, shining. Look at the world, in my hands the universe is my net. It's yours, can't escape from my love, it's yours. It's yours, can't escape from my love, it's yours. When I look at you, it's like I got the whole room on the tip of my finger, and I'm pointing it right back to you. When I look at you, it's like I got the whole universe, 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 the whole universe.
Okay, so there it is, guys. That is the last music break of the day. That is Mariah Henry and Cece, and that song is what is it? What is the song called again? It's called Universe. Yeah, you know that song. How much I know that song? Like when we used to have. Oh, you know what? Remember when we had the Sunday edition and we were like interviewing all these members? Like I still have all those videos. I just took them down because of 2023. And when the time comes, I know that a lot of people are okay with putting their videos back up again. So if you guys are out there and you guys did an interview and you're okay with me posting it back up, I'll post them back up again because I know that as 2023 has already passed and a lot of people have gone through that tribulation time. I know some people are like, oh, I really missed those interviews. If you want those interviews again, or should I do new interviews like after 2023, what life was like kind of thing? I don't know. I was just thinking about it in my head, but I think that'd be kind of cool to go over that again. But I do have those interviews, but I use this song for those Sunday editions. Right? So that's why I know this song very, very well. And interestingly, Mariah Henry is my first interview. She's my first interview for Sunday Edition. So she talked about how she made this song and stuff like that too with another member in the church named Cece. So it's very, 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 very cool to hear like the origin stories of this and that. Okay? Either way. So yes, it's time for Sermons in the Sky, but I want to tell you guys something that the Sermons in the Sky has turned into Sermons in the Land because I am crazy exhausted at this moment. It's been a super long day, and I would ask for your forgiveness if you would allow me to skip today's Sermons in the Sky because, super long and crazy day. And if you have any, if you want to get mad at me or rebuke me, I will accept it in the comment section. You can even send me voice notes. You can send me text messages. I am okay with all those things because I own up to it and I deserve it. Either way. All right. So there it is, guys. I will be skipping the Sermons in the Sky. And Pastor David has been also running like crazy. He hasn't been able to do it because he's working on some things also. But cool thing is we've been hanging out a lot over the last couple of 3 days too. But either way. All right. So there it is, guys. That is the end of today's Thursday podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I had. I hope you guys have an amazing and awesome Thursday. And we'll see you guys again tomorrow on the Morning Star Drive on 117.8.
It's the Morning Star Drive 117.8. You soaring up with sky, now's the time, don't delay. I'm sitting in my ride and it's time to fly. So let's realign, just listen and fill your mind.
I'm burning with desire and the passion. Nobody can stop me when I'm like this.